Welcome back to your Football Manager channel. This is fmpepe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hey there guys, welcome back to your team review. Today we're looking at Aston Villa. It's a club review today. 42,777 capacity at Villa Park. Last season they came up in the playoffs in 5th place. John Terry's the assistant manager. 3.5-star reputation. Media predict we're going to end up 18th. And you can see here, they've got quite a few decent players here. Jack Grealish is amongst them. In there with McGinn. They've also got Jota. Trezeguet is quite a decent player. Mings at the back is decent. And Heaton's a good goalkeeper. So we'll go and have a closer look. They want to play attacking football. They don't want to sign players over the age of 28. They would preferably sign players under the age of 23. They want to sign players for a profit. They want you to work within the budget. That's absolute must. So it tells us they're not going to be working with much. They'd rather finish mid-table. Minimum 5th round of the FA Cup and 4th round of the Carabao Cup. So the cup competitions do matter to them. They do want to, make a bit of money. Hence, work towards becoming self-sustainable. And from there, they want to push on and look towards top half finish. And there you've just seen some of my saves, which is all good. It's kind of like having a peek behind the curtain, isn't it? Club vision and expectations already been through. Pre-season preparation. 5 friendlies. Let's see, squad selection rules. Okay. Let's go and meet the squad, and we'll do it by position. So, wow, there's a lot of keepers. Right. Lovre Kalinic seems a good goalkeeper. He's on loan to Toulouse. You're not going to be able to recall him, so I'll just move him to the under-23s. James Chester on loan to Stoke. You're not going to be able to recall him, so yeah, move to the under-23s is useless for you. Scotty Hogan, former Rochdale player, absolute ledge. I don't think you're going to be able to recall him either, so again, under-23s. Now this is an interesting player, and Brana Samata. Who knows what he can do? He's a pressing forward. He's someone Aston Villa spent a little bit of cash on, 8.5 million from Genk, where in one season he scored 23 goals in 38 games. So it is possible he could be a bit of a wild card, and maybe he could bring something to the team. But Wesley will be your main striker, I think. He's not so good here on the stats, but he's actually okay. Borja Baston. Former Swansea player, I think. Again, decent option. Jota. I think they're signing from Birmingham. So what I'll do now is I'll try and put a team together and show you who you could play. So here I've put together what I think is probably the best choice 11 that you're going to have as Aston Villa manager. You've got Tom Heaton in goal. Gilbert at right back, Konsa and Mings in central defence, with Matt Target at left back. You got McGinn and Douglas Luiz in midfield, both box-to-box midfielders who can support. Then supporting Borja Baston, the target man striker, you'll have Jota on the right and Trezeguet on the left. Now, Jota is left-footed and Trezeguet is right-footed, so both of them want to be inside wingers in order to come in and attack. With Jack Grealish playing behind Baston as well, you're going to have to play more expressively, and you're going to have to play a bit more on the counter. You've got both fullbacks that are going to be attacking. You've got Jack Grealish, who's also going to be attacking, and then he'll find support from Jota and Trezeguet as well when you launch the counter. I think that's the best you're going to get. You got Reina in goal on the bench, Al Mohammadi, the former Hull City right wing back, Engels, a defender, Danny Drinkwater on loan from Chelsea, El Ghazi is also there as a winger or striker option, and you got Samata and Wesley as striker options. Now the reason you've got them as striker options is because you can change this from a 4-2-3-1 into a midfield 3, stick Jack Grealish in there, put him as a roaming playmaker who takes more risks and supports, put Trezeguet and Jota up there, and then you can bring Samata on for Jota, and you can bring Wesley on for Trezeguet. Trezeguet, once he goes off, you can use Wesley as a pressing forward, and you can use Samata as a pressing forward, and they'll play off your target man Baston. So that will give you a 4-3-3 formation with Gilbert and Target being the attacking fullbacks going down the wings. I think if you move Grealish to this position, maybe have him as a Mazzella who attacks, and you have Douglas Luiz as a box-to-box midfielder who supports, as well as McGinn playing a Mazzella who supports. You can play with a box-to-box midfielder and 2 Mazzellas, and that I think would be a good second tactic to play if you're Aston Villa. Now, that being said, with these 3 strikers, I don't think any of them are proper Premier League quality. So I think you're going to need to go out and sign a big striker, like a real quality striker. But what you're going to do with £10 million in the transfer budget and 35 grand wiggle room in the wage budget, I have no idea. So you're going to have to go back to your squad and you're going to have to trim it. And there's not that much there to trim, to be honest with you. Maybe you can get rid of Marvelous Nakamba and sell him on. He's rated at 12 million, 35 grand a week. That could probably bring in a bit of cash for you. But in the under 23s, there's a lot of players out on loan. And there's not a lot of players that are worth very much that you can play. There's Keenan Davis at 750,000, young striker. But in all honesty, there's nothing really there for you to take pleasure in. So you're gonna have to go out and sign a striker. That will have to be priority. You do have Louis Barry coming through the under 18s. He'll take 2 or 3 years to improve before you can play him. So, yeah, unfortunately, a striker it is. And as you're going to have to sign a striker, I would keep Anwar El Ghazi because he can play on right wing. Also do a job on the left. But I would perhaps look to be moving on. Maybe Wesley, 14.25 million, 50 grand a week. Is he really worth it? And Borja Baston, 10.5 million, 45 grand a week. If you can move these 2 players on for like 20, 25 million, get 95 grand off the wage budget. Add that 25 million to the 10 that the club's giving you. That's, well, 80% of it. So, say you get 30 million transfer budget. 30 million, 100 grand a week. Should be able to find someone. But I think with Pepe Reina and Danny Drinkwater on loan, what I might also be tempted to do is go to the transfer market and look for loan players. You see, you've got Alvaro Negredo here being offered to you for dirt cheap money. I'm not sure he could do a job for you, to be honest. Shrodan Mustafi, you don't need a centre half. Bioni Sisto, who's a left winger. He's a good player. He's one you could look at. You might want to get an analysis report on him. Richarlison, forget it. You can't afford him. You can't afford Saka. You can't afford Meyer. You can't afford Diop. You can't afford Traore or McTominay or Cleverley. So when you do a player search, I think what you might have to do is go and get this man, Alexander Mitrovic. Try your hardest to get him to Aston Villa. If you get Mitrovic, you've got a chance. What you could do is just go to the loan market and you see your recommendations. You got Matic, who's loanable but slow. Cleverley, who's loanable, not really very good. John Joe Shelby, again a little bit slow. Jack Wilshere, maybe you could loan Jack Wilshere. If you manage to loan Jack Wilshere and maybe Manuel Lanzini, both from West Ham, if you manage to loan the pair of them and maybe go and get Andre Gray, that could help you out a hell of a lot just with those 3 loan signings. So bear that in mind. You don't always have to go out and sign players for massive stupid money. There will be players knocking around who you're going to be able to get on loan or pick up cheap. Angel Gomez could be an option to develop a player. There's plenty out there. So have a whiz around the transfer market. See what you can get. Hopefully focus on the striker department, because without those goals you're going to end up getting relegated. And yeah, that's no good to anyone. So hope that helps you. That's a little look at Aston Villa. Take care of yourself. If you haven't subscribed already, drop a sub, it's free, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.